Good evening. Once again, this is the Bangkok Post broadcasting live on a skywalk 100 meters away from the main a pro-democracy protest at Ratchaprasong intersection. Now, thousands of protesters are gathering to call for three demands: the resignation of Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha, for the House, for the Parliament to open door for charter rewrite, and they have also another demand this morning after the protest leaders were arrested at 4 a.m. That demands is for the police to release the protest leaders who were arrested. Now, we have to tell you we are trying our best to provide you this live coverage, but we may face technical difficulties from time to time because the internet signal is so poor, and if we try to get closer we will get cut off. However, we are trying to get there eventually. Then just for a bit of background, this is a protest organized by a group called the People's Party 2020 or คณะราษฎร 2020. That name was derived from 24 years ago, where an anti-establishment group was trying to challenge the status quo of Thai society at that time. However, they failed to do so, and therefore the people are seizing that name as they are trying to carry the torch forward and continue what they left off. So now they've come under the name the People's Party. This is a combination of two groups, the first one being the Free Youth and Free People movement led by Thatchep Rương Prapai Kitseri or Ford, and the other one, the United Front for Thammasat and Demonstration led by Pirit Shivarak or Penguin. They are now come under the one name, the People's Party 2020, with three demands, which I had already told you about. Now, the protest at Ratchaprasong intersection started around 3 p.m. after protest leaders urged the people to come and gather here in an attempt to free the protest leaders who were arrested earlier this morning. And for those of you who did not follow the news, yesterday the protest at Democracy Monument went somewhat smoothly. Around, I don't want to say the number, but so many protesters were marching to the government house from Democracy Monument yesterday around 3 p.m. They were presented with roadblocks and barricades along the way. It took them roughly 3 to 4 hours to the government house. They were finally able to reach the government house at around 7:30 when they seized Makawan Rangsan Bridge in front of the government house. The protest leaders then seized the roads around the government house and set up 4 stages. The main stage was set up in front of the government house. The protest leader yesterday said that they would not go home unless Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha resigned. However, their demand did not materialize as police force dispatched and dispersed around 4 a.m. this morning, and the 3 protest leaders along with others were arrested, and that's why the People's Party felt the need to organize a protest here at Ratchaprasong intersection. And just a little bit of background, Ratchaprasong intersection is at the heart of Bangkok. On my right hand side, that's Gason Plaza. On the left hand side, Era1 Plaza and also Amarin Shopping Center, and behind me is Central World. And this is a historical spot because 10 years ago in May 2010, Ratchet protesters were gathering here to call for then Prime Minister Abhisit Ratchaprasong to resign. However, the protesters were faced with hard crackdown and some of them lost their lives. And that's why the protesters chose this avenue to continue their movement. So now, at around 3 p.m., the protesters met with police who were sent to negotiate with the protest leaders. However, the protest leaders were unrelented, and they insisted on staying here. And at first, barricades were set up along this road at the intersection. However, protest leaders urged the people to move the barricades further and further, and they finally succeeded in putting the barricades to Phetchaburi Road. So now you can see the people are